it looks like we have a part 3. Let's get right into it. I think the hospital I work for is experimenting on patients. Part 3 by Glitter Cricket. If you've missed parts 1 and 2, go to the links in the description. I called the police and reported the picture I had received. I didn't really know what my plan was, but I knew this had spiraled out of my control and I needed serious help. I told them everything. Being that it's a small town, pretty much everyone knows everyone else. And it just so happens that the chief of police is married to the house supervisor of the hospital. Chief Baker took my call and eventually my in-person report. When I got there, they checked my bags and asked that I, for the time being, left all my stuff with the unit clerk. I complied. I sat in an interrogation room with a cheap coffee and wrote down my statement, shaking and crying as I wrote. Eventually, Chief Baker came in, and I must have started talking so much and so fast I overwhelmed him. Slow down. Let's just take it slow. He put his hand up as to yield to me. My friend is dead. Don't you understand? Dead. She's in the hospital. She died in a hospital? He asked. I could tell he thought I meant she was a patient. No. Well, yes, but she wasn't a patient. I could see that he thought I was losing it. You don't understand. We went up to the 3rd floor because something was going on up there and she got burned. I couldn't find her and someone sent her picture to me and she was dead, just like the others. The others? Ma'am, have you taken any illegal substances tonight? What? I shrieked in frustration. I don't take illegal substances. I work in a fucking hospital where I'm tested regularly. Do I fit the mold of someone who takes illegal substances? You aren't hearing me. Okay, listen. You need to calm down before I put you in a holding cell. You can't do that. I haven't done anything wrong. You won't listen to me. And then I remembered my phone. I was so distraught that it had taken me an embarrassing amount of time to realize that I could just show him the picture. My phone! I said as I stood up and slid my chair back. I ran to the clerk and asked if I could please grab my phone out of my bag. I dug to the bottom and got it, and I ran back to the room. This will prove everything. I have the picture of her. She was murdered. Tonight, someone sent me the... I froze. Our texts had been deleted. All of them. She wasn't in my recent messages at all. What the fuck is going on here? I yelled. Ma'am, I think you need help. Can I call someone? A friend? A family member? I sat down, defeated. I didn't understand. Was I really losing my mind? I scrolled through all my contacts to find Sheena's number. It was gone. In a final attempt to prove my sanity, I asked if he could just do a small favor for me. Can you call Christy? Can you please just call her and ask if she saw Shayna leave? He sat there for a minute and just stared at me. I could tell he didn't believe me, almost like he was just going to entertain this solely to calm me down and get me to leave. Sure, he pulled out his phone. Hey, sweetie, I have one of your employees here. Cassie Ferris? Yeah, she has an interesting story about some murders taking place at the hospital there. And honestly, I'm worried about her. But she wants me to ask you if you've seen Shayna leave tonight during a shift change or if you know about her still being there. He covered the phone with his hand and whispered to me, What's her last name? Morris. It was her married name. Yeah, Morris. There was a long pause, then he looked at me with concern. Hang tight, Miss Ferris. I'll be right back. He got up and walked out of the room. A few long, dreadful minutes later, he came back with 2 other officers. I stood up and began to cry. She's dead, isn't she? She's really dead. They found her. Ma'am, take a seat. No, just tell me what happened. Did they know? Did they catch the person? This is all my fault. I fell to my knees. I knew I was the reason she was dead. I didn't need anyone to tell me that. You don't think I felt bad enough without anyone else chiming in with their opinion? Yeah, I probably should have tried harder to find her. I was scared and she pushed me. It wasn't her. The way her eyes were, her strength, that wasn't her. I was terrified. You don't think I wanted to help her? Or find her? Of course I did. I waited. I called. I did all I knew how to do in that moment. And it wasn't enough. I don't need anyone telling me that this was my fault because, damn it, I fucking know that. My train of thought was broken when the officers put their hand under my arm and helped me to my feet and sat me down. Miss Ferris, I think you need to get checked out, Chief Baker said. His face changed from frustration to concern. I'm fine. I wasn't injured. They only hurt Shayna. We're gonna take you to the hospital for observation, okay? He slid his hand across the table and placed it on mine. Hell no. I'm not going there for observation. You can't treat me like 6404. I'm a nurse, not a patient. I'll go see her body, but I won't be put on observation. I'm not crazy. Cassie, look at me. He tightened his grip on my hand and his face got very serious. There isn't and never has been an employee there by the name of Shayna Morris. I yanked my hand out of his. He was wrong. He had to be wrong. Guys, this is a fantastic story by an amazing author. Part 4 should be done Friday, so stick around and find out what happens next.